I paint well. So as the artist, we kind of struggle sometimes, finding that income on a consistent basis, but you have to search and you have to go look for what, different jobs and what you're trying to do. So what I did, someone was in a group. They posted about painting the parking spots. Now I should have been doing this a long time ago, but I just never done it. I don't know why. Because I guess I was busy with other things. I didn't really see it as a lucrative job or whatnot. But so my first time painting a parking spot for someone was, what's today? Friday, I believe Wednesday. And by other people saying that one parking spot, somebody reached out to me yesterday. One of the students, seniors at DeSoto High School, reached out to me because she seen her friend's parking spot, and she was like, "Hey, I want to get my parking spot painted, and are you able to do it?" And I was like, "Yes." And then she was like, "I have a twin sister as well. Would you be able to do hers as well?" And I was like, "Yeah, So that's another 2 jobs right here. I'm gonna try to finish both today. And that's not even including the person that was there Wednesday. The girl name was Kiara. Her friend, Skylar, she wanted her parking spot done too as well. I'm gonna be trying to do that. We scheduled it for Sunday, but we're gonna try to do it Saturday if I can fit her in, because I have like 3 different events on Saturday. So I'm gonna try to squeeze her in. I have from 9 a.m. to probably 9 p.m. I'll be out working and doing my thing. It's a 12-hour day. But I know people probably be like, that's a lot of work, a lot of time, but you got to understand too, it's 12 hours. I'm making way more than I would at a regular job. I'm making over $50 an hour, you know what I mean? So it's not 12 hours straight work, but for the jobs that I'm doing, I'm making some $50 an hour. I have one job that's $100 for 2 hours. So you got to think it's more than what a job would pay me, because these jobs, I'm one of those people who goes over and above and beyond, and I've tried to create new systems and new training manuals and all this different stuff. And at the end of the day, they still will let you go no matter what you do for a job. I'm driving to this job right now, y'all, so bear with me. Yeah, no matter what you do for a job, they will still let you go. So all of the loyal people and showing up to work early, sitting there 30 minutes, an hour early, just thinking that, they care. Use your time. You know what I mean? Use your PTO. I don't know why people don't want to take PTO, because they feel like, no, I'm taking all my PTO. I used to try to save it and think about the job and if they had coverage and all this stuff. But after experiencing the things I experienced at a younger age, being fired, and I was fired one time from a job. I was there for 4 years, and the job had a fire. It was a polystyrene material that, so it's highly flammable, and it was the egg cartons and meat trays and stuff like that. That's the material that it was made of. That we made egg cartons and meat trays, mushroom tills, and all of that type of stuff. So they had a fire, and a lot of the stuff was burnt up in the warehouse. A lot of the orders got burnt up. So with them having that fire, it caused the air conditioner not to work on certain parts of the warehouse. So when I say it was hot, it was already non-climate control. So it was like extra hot because we didn't even have the little air that we was getting at first. Like you can walk in some spots, it would be so hot that it was like just make you dizzy instantly. They wanted us to work 7 days a week to make up those orders, and it wasn't for a week or two. It was for until they say that okay, it's enough. No, so we had a mandatory seven day a week schedule. It got to the point, it was so bad, y'all, that I didn't do it. I did it for probably 2 weeks, but that third week I couldn't do it no more. It got to the point where people stopped speaking to each other. We didn't know what day it was. Like, it was just come to work. We just walked past each other and work, And my wife, my girlfriend at the time, she was in college and she was graduating. I told them, I was like, hey, I need to be off on this Saturday because I gotta have to go to a graduation. It was like, well, it's mandatory for everybody to be here. Even I have to be here. I was like, well, Joe, that's a supervisor name. I was like, well, I have somewhere to be. I'm not missing this for egg cartons. You know what I mean? And he was like, well, we're just going to have to see how it goes and what they say. And I went to the graduation. And I'm glad I went to the graduation. When I arrived at the graduation, I seen my girlfriend. She was looking back, trying to find me to see where I was. And, like, I tried to stop and get flowers at the Walmart that was close to the hotel where they had the graduation at, but they didn't even sell flowers at their Walmart. But anyway, eventually, so they started using this point system to kind of dock people when they're tardy or absent, so you get up to a certain amount of points, and that you are terminated or written up and all, and so on. I got to my, because we had the fire and I was tardy, people was tardy, calling in, because you had to call in just to get a break. Use PTO just to be off, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't care about them points. I need a break, dude. Like, this is, it's crazy. The front office is not up in there working, they're at home on the weekends, their families. They want you in here making money for them to be paid. That's why I don't like, I don't understand. Well, I understand it, but no, it wasn't no work-life balance. And I was working mid-shift that time from like 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. So that kind of caused me to miss out a lot of time with my oldest son that I regret. Because he'd get out of school, and I would pick him up and take him home. Then I go right to work. And then I don't get off to 12 midnight. And when I get off, everybody that I know is asleep, preparing for their work day the next day, or some people may have been up, but they was getting ready to go to sleep. So it was like I didn't even have nobody to talk to when I got off of work. And if you want to work that midday shift, it's for somebody without any friends, any family, any kids, because that is like, wow. It has to be temporary to work a midday shift. Because you have to have no life at all if you work in that shift on a consistent basis. If it's temporary and you're trying to go through school or stuff like that, that's great, but just permanently, no. But anyway, I got fired from that job. And, for going to the graduation, and calling in because they wouldn't give us days off. And I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't have not called in. I would have not used my PTO. I wouldn't have not went to that graduation. So I went to Quest Diagnostics. I worked there for like 5 years and 10 months. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Dallas, Texas area, but we're having a lot of construction go on in Dallas, due to a lot of people moving down here in the traffic, and they're trying to make it better, make it flow a little better. How can I say this? From where I live, I had to deal with a lot of that traffic, and sometimes I would be stuck on the freeway for an hour and 30 minutes. Because you try to beat the cones before they're put out, but if you don't, there's nothing you can do. You just have to sit there, cut your car off, and sit and wait. Okay, so I was calling in, I was telling my supervisor now what was going on. They just say, if I'm 10-15 minutes late, we usually leave about 20 minutes earlier. Anyone knows that when you work a job, you time yourself about how long it takes to get there. And if I'm getting there on time, leaving at this time all the time, and then something happens and then I'm 10 minutes late, why would I leave 10 minutes earlier than what I usually leave to be there on time? It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? It was just, I don't know. I don't let them stress me out though. So I just smile and give a deep breath, take a deep breath when they say stuff like that. But to continue with the story, yeah, I was fired from there. And my last day, well, actually, I think that the same day I was talking to my supervisor, and I was like, I'm gonna need, in a month and a half, I'm gonna need this day off because it's my mom's birthday, blah, 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 blah. She was just shaking her head, yes, and she didn't say nothing. But, so I know she already knew that I was about to get fired. I don't know why she just didn't tell me. Like, it was cool. I was ready to go. That was one of those jobs, after a while, I started to wake up and I would just sit on the side of the bed and stare at the wall, because I didn't know if I wanted to go in or not. Like, it just was that, it was a weight on my shoulders. Like, so when I took my first break from the night that I got fired from there, and when I got back, one of the group leads, he told me that my supervisor wanted to see me at the round table. The round table is where they have a lot of meetings and stuff all the time, where they fire people. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm probably gonna get fired then. That's why I told him. So I started going around the lab, because it was a medical lab, and I was shaking people's hands and telling them that I'm going to the round table, so this might be their last time seeing me up here at the job. And once I shook everybody's hand, that I talked to, I went to the round table. I walked in the room, and it was 2 supervisors in there. And I told Donna, well, I don't know if I'm supposed to use names up there. I was like, is it about that time? And she just shook her head, yes. She didn't say anything. And I was like, do I need to sign something? Made it short and sweet. Used to go through all this other stuff. And she was like, no. She's like, I'm gonna pay you for the rest of this night, and I'll pay you for Friday. I was like, okay. She was like, I wish you the best. I was like, I'll be okay. And I gave her a hug, because she was a good supervisor. She was, she was cool. I liked her. So, yeah, and then I went from there, I think I left there in February, then I applied for UT Southwestern Hospital Medical Center. and I worked there for a little over 3 years. And then in July of 2023, they gave us a letter. But they asked me to come to a meeting. And I went to the meeting the next day, which is at 1 p.m. And I work night shift, so I get off at 5:30 in the morning. Y'all want me to come back up here at 1 p.m. And then they told us about they were having a reduction in force. There was my supervisor in there, her supervisor, some other supervisors, and I'm looking around the room. I'm like, why am I in here with all these supervisors? It made me think that I was about to get promoted or something. You know what I mean? But when the HR person started talking, he said that our positions had been terminated and we're able to apply for other positions in the company and so on. But it just goes to show you, y'all, you know what I mean, no matter what you do for a job, how good you work, you know, that if you let them control your livelihood, they have the power to cut off your food, your lights, your mortgage, your rent, anytime they want to. So always have a plan B. Or be working on a plan B while you're on plan A. Because while I was working there, you know, I still did my art on the side. I face paint. So I do a lot of parties on the weekends and events. I paint murals whenever I can find a job. I wrote a book while I was on my third shift job. The whole time I was working at work, when it got slow, I would work on my book. So I was able to focus and, you know, have tunnel vision working on my book while I was working at my third shift job. So use your time wisely, y'all. It's all about time management. And I'm finna get off because I'm about to pull up at the school and I'm gonna go live on YouTube to show y'all what I'm doing. I'll paint world.